bad news. As much as some people hate TikTok, thinking it's brain rotting the children, them Chinese propaganda, they taking your data. Guess what? The Americans are also just taking your data. It's just that the whole ban thing, it's not because TikTok is bad. It's because the American government is scared that the Chinese influence is having way too much over their populace. They would rather have TikTok banned, have it reskinned, and have an American version in. But we have right over here, anime and manga TikTok getting banned nationwide forever.
Getting banned nationwide in the United States this January 19th. And this ban extends even further than that. It goes on manga TikTok, comic TikTok, light novel TikTok, and everything else on the site. It is getting banned from...
Basically, TikTok's getting banned. It's not that anime TikTok is getting banned. TikTok itself is getting banned in America, though. In America. Me in Canada, it's not really impacted at all. But there is actually a reason, and I'm not sure if you guys know that I have a TikTok, by the way. I straight up have a TikTok that does really well. But I stopped uploading a couple months ago because... Hold up. Let me just bring this shit up here. God damn it. Bring this shit up here. TikTok is trying to make me do a bunch of shit. Here it is. Right? We have a TikTok that actually honestly is doing decent. I get decent viewership. The most recent one, these are just like Infinity Nikki like sponsorships. Like I literally don't upload on TikTok anymore because it's kind of like a waste of time. Because not only do Canadians literally not get invited into the advertisement program, meaning like you don't get ad revenue. In America, you actually can get ad revenue if you make TikToks. But in Canada, that's not the case. TikTok is honestly just like a form of advertising from TikTok to send people to the main content. But guess what? Even if you hit almost 1 million views on TikTok, right? Guess how many people actually check your YouTube channel out from that? The conversion rate is literally 0.1%. 0.1, meaning if I got 500,000 views, about 500 people would then actually search up my channel and find me. How do I know that? I would know because when the TikTok starts blowing up, I can see the traffic on YouTube where a bunch of people are finding my videos through channel pages, meaning they're manually seeking out my content and clicking into my videos rather than through the recommendation system. Is the rate of return of interest, like investment, is so poor that it's just like, it's honestly for fun. It's honestly for fun, and I'm just uploading this shit just to keep, have nice little highlights happening. But because of the whole ban that's gonna happen in America, right? Which in America is a huge audience, I was like, what the fuck is the point of investing into TikTok at this point? I'm literally just using this for, sponsorship campaigns for whenever, brands want me to react to stuff and I get a couple dollars off of it. But other than that, it's just like, I haven't been uploading for like, almost like a fucking year. And it's because of this shit. And here's the thing. There's a good chance that TikTok actually doesn't get banned. Donald Trump might be the savior of TikTok. Just speculations, because Donald Trump has spoken very favorably towards TikTok due to the whole recent election cycle and a lot of the younger voting base, right? Being exposed to content, let's say the Joe Rogan podcast or random collaborations with Aiden Ross, basically trying to reach the Gen Z, audience, and it's done really well. So Trump is like, hey, no promises, but tickety-tacky, it's pretty decent. You never know if this shit could get reversed thanks to Trump, but fingers crossed.
The United States. Now you're probably wondering to yourself, if you don't live in the United States, how does this affect you? Well, actually this does affect you in quite a few ways. For one, if you're someone that actively participates in TikTok, for instance, you watch content through TikTok or you get some videos that's from TikTok in your YouTube feed, those...
Exactly, right? Even if America's getting banned and even if you can still access TikTok from your country, a lot of the content creators are from America. So your content will just disappear.
Content creators that are on that site that are based in America will no longer be able to make content for TikTok because obviously the site and app is completely banned in the United States. So there's going to be a mass exodus, so to speak, of content creators leaving TikTok and going to a different space. Either
a lot of people are going to Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, right? But honestly, I just don't think YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, or some people even fucking use Facebook, they don't even come close to TikTok. As much as a lot of people shit on TikTok, I personally love TikTok. It is such an easy way. Thank you, Glitzy, for the 4 months of Prime. Appreciate that. TikTok is such a nice way to just get digestible content. And yeah, it's you call it brain rot. I personally think getting 30 seconds, advice on cooking, simple meal prep, bodybuilding tips, right? Knowledge on random different things, how to clean your bathroom in the most efficient way, how to cook, how to do anything. It is so educational. There's a lot of funny memes happening there too. It also exposes the masses to a bunch of shit that you would never see because the televisions and the mass media that you may be located in would never show you, let's say, the war happening in, let's say, Palestine and Israel, right? Like you get like Ukraine and Russia and stuff like that, right? The way that TikTok has even the leveling field of getting so much like media put out to the masses rather than having specific, mass media corporations, selectively give you content. I think TikTok actually has way more pros than cons. Yes, there's retards doing stupid challenges and dying because honestly, that's natural selection and the parents should have been there. There's no accountability from the parents to give these, kids these fucking content. But I think on a grand scale, TikTok is amazing. And no matter what, like, I wish that it will continue.
Either to Twitch, YouTube, or other avenues to be able to make money, so it's going to be quite a big issue. Just that alone, not even factoring in everything else, it's going to cause a lot of people to lose their potential avenue of making money. It will cause a lot of people that, used to watch these content creators no longer being able to watch those sitcoms.
And here's the thing. That's why, if you're a content creator, not even just content creating, just a general concept of investing, don't put all your eggs in one basket. TikTok is so easy to go viral in. You'll notice that really viral TikTok channels, if you click onto their YouTube page, they have no presence, straight up. Because the algorithm on TikTok basically carries you. You don't need to create a community. You just fucking spam content and you will get a shitload of views. But they will not come to YouTube. You will not actually establish a brand. The TikTok is basically just to go viral and try to plug some links on your main page to sell a course, sell something. But other than that, it's really hard to, actually like succeed on other platforms if you're based on TikTok first, if that makes sense. There's exceptions like Queso, where due to viral clips, he was able to amass a huge audience on Twitch, and he was very good at doing that. For most people, if you look at their TikTok numbers and you think they're getting a lot of views, they have a lot of followers, check if they have a YouTube. I guarantee you, shit won't even be fucking close.
Content creators because they're no longer available. It's going to be a huge mess if this legitimately does happen and the United States does fully ban TikTok this month on January 19th. But let's get into the main meat of this, okay? So obviously, this is going to have a massive effect on content creation in general, and a lot of people in the United States and even outside the United States. This is a global problem, honestly, at this point. But the thing is that one thing I want to say, and I've always been very blunt about this on the channel since basically I created the channel, is I'm very anti-censorship. I don't like censorship. I think censorship is bad. It is a net negative. It only hurts. It doesn't really help most of the time. There is certain very slim exceptions, but for the most part, TikTok being banned I don't think is a good idea for a variety of reasons, and I'm going to get into that. But before I do get into that, I will say there is a part of me deep down, and I gotta keep this blunt, and I gotta be honest with you guys, because I'd be a hypocrite and I'd be a liar. I kind of still, people might say I'm a little bit of a hypocrite with it, but I feel like it is better if I get this off my chest and I say the truth.
Do it.
There is a part of me, even if it's 1%, that is a little bit happy to see TikTok getting banned. And I'll explain my reason.
You think that TikTok has contributed into the shortening of attention spans of the new generation so that anime companies and Crunchyroll is trying to pump out, shortened form content, just 2x speed? Basically that, right?
TikTok in general has not just destroyed the space of anime and manga and light novel discussion because it has brain rotted people to the point to where they watch a few second clip, 10-second edit with montage music on it and they think they know everything about the series, but it has legitimately destroyed the attention span of countless people around the globe. It is definitely caused attention spans to shrink to such a degree that it is going to have a sweeping effect going forward.
Absolutely agree on that point. Even if all the positive things I talked about before about having concise, digestible content, which is so educational, which can only benefit you, which also exposes you to way more different perspectives of political outlets and media, rather than giving you certain bits of, propagandized selective things, there definitely is an aspect of kids watching TikTok or YouTube Shorts too, or Instagram Reels, where their attention span gets shortened due to the whole aspect of short form content and you're constantly scrolling.
Decades from now. It is legitimately bad. There is definitely studies that need to be made on just what it has done to people's minds. And I think that TikTok getting banned in general might be, in a way, a positive in that area.
I personally think that the negatives of TikTok don't even fucking come close to the positives, man. Straight up. Yeah, people's attention spans are shortening. But like, I think the amount of like, but I honestly, and this is gonna sound fucked up, I think that's a skill issue. I think you're an actual fucking retard if your brain is rotten and you can't control yourself, have any sort of a sense of accountability. Me, the way that I use TikTok, it is such a good tool. It only benefits me. I can consume so much educational content. I can like learn so much different shit from it. And is my attention span rotten or brain rotted? Fuck no. I don't think so. Have you seen my reactions? Have you seen how much I yap and how much focus I have into these fucking videos? So on an individual level, most people are genuinely monkeys that don't even know how to utilize this technology. For me personally, I think it is such a positive experience. But most people are monkeys. Most people are genuinely too fucking stupid and they're gonna get filtered out. But does that mean that I want TikTok gone? Nah, fuck them. I want TikTok.
However, this gets into what I discussed. I am very anti-censorship. I don't like censorship. And TikTok getting banned is censorship. And even though there is a part of me that would be happy to see it banned, deep down, I feel that way. I think it's still not good. And the big majority of myself says it should not be banned.
Yes.
AKA, TikTok legitimately shouldn't, because once that door opens, it will never be closed again, which gets into that, why it shouldn't be banned.
Just another example of something happens, it sets a precedence for something bad, even worse things to happen, right? And genuinely, if you actually think that TikTok is evil because it's owned by China, and that like there's like CCP propaganda happening, and that your data is being stolen, you are genuinely so fucking stupid. Do you not realize that the American companies do the exact same thing to you, but you're just a little bit scared because it's China doing it? Do you even know why the government went on to bring the CEO of TikTok? And basically the CEO embarrassed those fucking idiots. Have you seen that interview, the court case? It is absolutely embarrassing. The talking points that these American government people have is that, oh, the children are participating in these dangerous trends, eating Tide Pods, and they're dying. Have you no shame? It's just like, holy shit. Where was the parents from the fucking beginning? You think this is a TikTok problem? Nah, this is an issue with the lack of parenting and the lack of self-accountability. Honestly, Darwin effect. Honestly, natural selection is what's happening. And the only reason that America wants to ban TikTok is so that they can own TikTok and do the same shit to the American public. You really think that the American government cares about these trends killing the kids when you have mass shootings happening so commonly? Come on. Ain't nobody give a fuck about that. It's just America doesn't like the fact that China has so much influence over this application that so much American people use. So America wants to ban that shit, reskin it, call it Talk Tick, and now it's American based. And now do you suddenly think that like you are like somehow like freed from this, what is this? The shackles of data theft? Come on. Step, like take a step back and try to fucking think about what's happening.
So fundamentally, TikTok, if it gets banned in the United States, that door will never be closed again. AKA, what's stopping these politicians, these government officials from banning, let's say, YouTube, Google, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter?
I don't think YouTube will ever be banned in America. Because again, these are American brands. There is no fucking way the government would do that shit. The thing about TikTok, again, is the Chinese influence. And yes, this probably does set a precedence for American companies, American brands to, the government to ban, outside influences.
You get the point. Where's the line? Once that door and that line is crossed and it's open, you can't close that door. You can't go back over that line again. It's done, okay? And basically, if TikTok effectively does get banned in the United States, that gives a example that this can continue to happen, that they can ban entire apps and massive websites from the United States, the land of freedom technically. That would not be good. And now
If again, there's foreign influence.
Now, there is reasons why TikTok is getting targeted, and I will discuss that in a moment. But what I'm trying to say is that it opens the door up for other things to get banned, and I just legitimately don't think that is a good idea. Even though deep down, like I said, I'm happy to see TikTok maybe facing that ban. It won't be good because it will affect everyone. And I shouldn't, be happy for censorship just because I want that said thing to be censored. All censorship, in my opinion, is bad. Okay,
Principal
just gonna be
stance.
completely blunt there. But getting back onto the main topic, though, TikTok in general, I think that it shouldn't be banned because, like I said, so many other things potentially could get banned because of it. If TikTok's banned and it's such a large platform that houses so much content and all that that rivals even YouTube, then what's stopping, let's say, for instance, YouTube getting banned?
YouTube would never get banned. Why would an American company ban their own fucking, like, why would the government ban the fucking company that brings in so much fucking GDP and economic value? There is no fucking way that YouTube would ever be banned by the government. Are you serious? You really think that the American government would ban Apple, Facebook, YouTube? Come on. They are hard carrying. The government literally bends down and licks those corporations' assholes because of how much economic strength and value it brings to the country. This is a whole separate topic of foreign influences getting filtered out because the American government wants a tight hold of TikTok, but by the American people. It's that simple.
You get the point. So I don't want that door open. I don't think it should be banned. So let's segue into why is TikTok getting banned? Let's actually discuss that one. So
Chinese influence. It's that easy. That's it. America just don't like TikTok being held by China.
TikTok in general, it is facing a ban because of its alleged allegations of Chinese spyware. Now, I don't know all the intricate details of every little thing. I haven't seen
And of course, there is Chinese spyware. Open source code of TikTok's code base has been leaked in the past, and people have assessed it. There is a lot of things that they're doing to get as much information from the user as possible. This is an objective fact.
The hour-long footage of the head honcho CEO or whatever in the court and all that, talking to politicians and stuff and judges. I haven't seen all the footage, so I'm not going to say that I'm an expert in every single area for this topic. I'm just going to be completely blunt on that. I'm keeping this video very honest, and I'm not trying to sugarcoat things. But basically, the main incentive here, and the reason why the United States government is trying to ban TikTok nationwide, is because of its spying in on its government facilities, it's spying in on the people, learning travel data, learning what they're doing, learning what they're buying, mapping out basically locations around the United States.
Yep.
That is what allegedly the issues is with TikTok being allowed to exist in the United States.
That's right. The only people that can spy on their own people is American government. How dare the Chinese government do the same shit the American government do, bro?
Now, to be fair, on paper, that makes sense. Why would you want a foreign government to spy in on your people?
Yeah, again, it makes a lot of sense to me. Objectively, it makes sense that the American government would want to ban TikTok so that China doesn't have that data and that America wants to monopolize it. It makes a lot of sense to me.
In on your government facilities, that could definitely lead to some data breaches. And that's understandable. However, there is something that does need to be noted here. And that is the fact that if they think it's just TikTok that's causing these problems, then that's hilarious. Because I want to tell you, I want to bring up something that's very fascinating. Anyone that has been on the internet and browsers the internet and knows how the internet works knows that nothing's really private anymore. You're always getting spied in on, watched, and your data is getting sold to someone else. It's a constant thing. For instance, about a few months ago, I think about 4 or 5 months ago, I was talking with my fiance, and we were talking about dog food. We randomly brought up dog food.
And then you scrolled on TikTok and you saw dog food advertisements. Or just random stuff. No, straight up, this has happened to me a lot too. Whatever my newest trends is, whatever I'm interested in next, right? Sometimes I think my fucking phone is listening to me, man. The way that the advertisements and the content is curated just towards my interest is actually fucking scary. They know me better than I do.
I remember after we discussed dog food, about 5 minutes later, I literally got an ad on YouTube for dog food.
Exactly. Again, this is not a conspiracy theory. I think a lot of people have similar experiences where something like. And now there's going to be a little bit of selective bias where now you're constantly going to be looking out for ads that target your specific interest or whatever you talked about. But spontaneously, this shit has happened to me commonly where I'm like talking a brand new thing out of fucking nowhere. And then boom, I get an ad about that. I'm like, holy shit.
And I was just like, I don't ever get these ads. I don't get dog food ads. I always get gacha game ads, okay? That's all I get.
Yeah.
But then I get a random dog food ad on my YouTube video. Yeah. After we just discussed dog food because we need to pick up dog food.
And they're listening.
Like, tell me they're not spying in on what you're saying. Like, because clearly they are. Like, they're always...
You remember, y'all know this frame from Chainsaw Man? It's how I feel about big tech companies. Like, straight up. It's how I feel about big tech. They're listening. Constantly in your walls, bro. Schizo.
Always listening to what you're typing or spying in on what you're saying. It's common sense. They do it for advertisement to be able to sell you products. So the main point I'm trying to make here is that a lot of these apps, a lot of these sites and companies, they're already spying in on you just as what TikTok is currently doing.
Yep.
Once again, a lot of these companies are US based, so it makes sense why they probably will let them slide because obviously they are...
Exactly, because it's owned by the American people, right? Spying on the American people is only allowed by American brands. How dare the Chinese variants come in and try to do the same shit? And objectively, it makes sense. I understand perfectly well that, you know, if I was the American government, I'd probably do the same shit too. But again, if you actually think that like your information is safe, just because TikTok is getting banned, or the fact that there's some sort of social or justice cause of, you know, preventing kids from dying from, you know, following these trends, fuck no. Do not get caught up on those optics.
Home in the United States, and TikTok is technically owned by China, makes sense why they're taking that hardline stance. However, it is foolish to assume that these companies in the United States don't sell data to other countries, foreign countries. They definitely do. 100%. So all I'm saying is that if TikTok is getting banned for this reason of basically spying in on the citizens of the United States, then obviously other sites, other websites and stuff could fall under that umbrella as well. So this leads into what I talked about at the beginning of the video. Once the door is open of bans and stuff, it can never be closed. The issue and the prospect of a ban happening to any site is possible. So obviously...
Again, I just don't think that is... I understand what Chibi's trying to say, but there is a fundamental core issue about American brands being able to have data, not the Chinese brand. There is no way in hell that YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or any big American brand tech that contributes so much to the economy would get banned by the government. If you look at a pattern of history that happens in America, the government literally bends down and licks these tech corporations' assholes because of how much power that they have and the value they bring to the economy. A very interesting thing is that in China, it's different. The Chinese government does not bend over to Chinese billionaires of tech. You know what happened to Alibaba CEO Jack Ma? Have you noticed that anytime someone from China, right, Chinese brand, some big guy, speaks ill against the government or gets too big that the government can't control them anymore, the government immediately fucking acts and shuts that shit down. In America, though, not the case.
Obviously, to negate that inevitable future, it's best to not ban TikTok. As much as I don't like it, and I would love to see it gone, honestly, because it'd probably be better for humanity itself.
Again, TikTok being gone doesn't mean that, like... I do not think that TikTok is the root of all evil for humanity. That is a ridiculous thing to say. If anything, I think there's a net positive from the amount of information sharing, the amount of people across the world being able to connect thanks to TikTok and have digestible information that is so helpful in your day-to-day lives. Of course, there's negative aspects, but I think the amount of positive aspects that comes from TikTok is way more significant than the negative. TikTok essentially is a great tool to be used, and if you use anything wrong, just like anything, if you use it wrong, of course there's going to be negative consequences.
I don't think legitimately it's a good...
Also, another thing is that you think that TikTok being banned is going to solve brain rot? Motherfucker, look at Instagram Reels, look at YouTube Shorts. This shit is not going away.
Good idea for the progress of just keeping the internet like it is and censorship free. That's all I'm going to say. So yeah, I want to talk.
That's pretty much it. You guys have heard my take about this shit. A lot of things that I agree and disagree with this video, but here's the video. Go check out Chibi's channel. I'll see you next time.